Um, so somebody else is on chat duty right now. Gonna pull up my notes. Um, so it is mini munch, mini munch. Okay, let me start over.
Is it a
Okay,
food game?
I wish it would have been better. It is mini month, and for mini month, I don't know. I've been like hyper focused on handhelds. Last time on the main one, I did a Neo Geo Pocket Color game, and also I have some. I'm not saying what it is. I have something coming out for the channel that's going to be focused on handhelds. So I was like, I'm gonna do another handheld game. So I decided to play a game that I was thinking about recently, Sonic 2 for the Game Gear. Um, this game has one of our friend Brian's favorite childhood stories of mine. When I was a kid, I had this game. I had Sonic 1, 2, and Drift 2. So like now I've reviewed Sonic 1 and Sonic Drift 2, so this is like the trifecta of my childhood Game Gear games. I had this game as a kid. My mom worked at a clothing retail store, and she didn't have a daycare for me at the time, so I would go with her a lot of the days, and I would sit back in the break room and play Game Gear, or like they had a VCR, I'd watch like Pokemon or whatever I had, and I had this game, and I it's so hard I could never progress past the first area, so I would just watch like the demo attract screen and just see like the characters run through stages I would never play because I could not get past the first area. And Brian loves that story of like sad kid me that can't progress in this game. Um, so I thought I would do my childhood self a favor and I would beat Sonic 2 on Game Gear. And here we are. Sonic 2 on Game Gear is technically the first game called Sonic 2 because it came out a month before the Genesis version and has nothing to do with that version. This was created by Aspect. It is a totally different story. In this game, Dr. Eggman, aka Robotnik, has kidnapped Tails, and Sonic is setting out to save him, I guess. You play through 7 zones, 6 if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds, but 7 if you get all the Chaos Emeralds, and there's 2 endings to this game. The bad ending, if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds and you just play through the 6 stages, you don't rescue Tails, and then it just ends with this ominous picture of Tails up in the stars that says end. So I don't know if Tails died or not. The the good ending, you rescue Tails. So that's that. Let's talk about why I think this is the first bad Sonic game to ever exist. Sonic 2 on Game Gear is fucking atrocious. This game is downright mean. For one, you're playing on a Game Gear, and this game was originally programmed for the Master System, which has a much bigger aspect ratio because you're playing on a TV, and they crunched it down to the Game Gear size. And with that, there's a lot of screen crunch where you can't see obstacles or jumps or anything coming your way. That's already bad, especially for a Sonic game. And I get that it's a port of a Master System game, but still bad. The level designs are very poor in this game. A lot of leaps of faith, a lot of really gimmicky areas that aren't fun. The slopes in this game, once you start going down a slope, good fucking luck stopping because it's like Sonic's on butter. He's not stopping for anyone in this game. The 7 zones you play through are Zone 1 is Underground Zone, which is underground, which is weird for a first Sonic stage. And you're like riding mine carts, and the spikes are falling on you and stuff. And this stage isn't too awful, but there's a little bit of fuckery with like sometimes when you're riding a minecart, it jumps. You'll need to jump out of the minecart to land in the right spot. Sometimes you want to stay in the cart, but with the screen crunch, you can't really tell till its last minutes. You gotta memorize that by trial and error. Where this first zone really starts to fuck with you is the boss fight. It's all on a slope. And there's this weird beetle thing like snapping at the bottom of the slope, and then Eggman's throwing bombs at the top, but you can't tell when the bombs are coming your way till it's too late. So you're trying to avoid the bombs so they'll hit the beetle and kill him. And it's doable, but it's definitely annoying. The second stage is Sky High Zone, which is up in the clouds. There's a cute gimmick here where you're trying to ride a hang glider. It controls like shit though, and I couldn't get it to work correctly. Both playthroughs I did. But hey, I mean, neat idea to have like a little vehicle section. Other than that, it's bad. There's platforms that are made out of clouds, but they also look like the background. So sometimes you can't tell what's a platform and what's the background. So that's great, for a platformer. The third stage is Aqua Lake as opposed to Gasoline Lake, I guess. It's a water stage. It's one of the classic Sonic stages that's like up. Some of it's above water, some of it's underwater. And this is one of the few areas where I had a semblance of fun at some points because if you get enough speed going, you can actually mash the A button and like if you're in a ball, you can skip across the top of the water. I like that idea. That was cool. Other than that, the stage is awful. A lot of it is underwater. There's this awful sequence that they actually reused the idea in Mania and did a lot better. But there's an awful sequence where Sonic gets trapped in a bubble and he has to like dodge spikes and stuff and float up. And one of the areas is a straight up tunnel with shit coming at you on both sides, and it is downright almost impossible. I definitely abused the 3DS's save states for that part. um, Level 4 is Green Hills, not Green Hill, Green Hills. I guess there's more. There's multiple hills now. It's Green Hill, but more bullshit. The most notable thing about this stage is the fact that the music is great because the music in this stage, Teddy, is the song they would actually go on to use as the Sonic CD Japanese theme, the Doot Doot Sonic Warrior. That's what they're. Yeah. There's an 8-bit version playing here that they had before CD even came out. So it's cool. Like I was playing and I heard that music and I was like singing along to, like the lyrics I know. So I was like, that's like the most fun I had on that stage. Other than that, it was awful. Um, Stage 5 is Gimmick Mountain. Bad stage. Uh, a lot of elevators, a lot of spikes. There's this one section that's super egregious. Okay, so there's a section with this elevator that you need to jump off onto this platform and wait for the elevator to go up and then come back or else it'll kill you. But the problem is that if you get too far off screen and you can't see the elevator anymore, the elevator will just disappear. And Sonic is stranded now, and you're just gonna have to die because there's nowhere you can go from that point on. Very, very, very bad game design. Level 6 is one of the worst Sonic stages I've ever played in my life. Scrambled Egg Zone. Um, this zone is all about tubes. You're traveling through tubes. Think like Chemical Plant, but on crack. And it's all trial and error. So you hop in a tube, and then as you're going through the tube, there's like branching paths, and you have to hold like up, down, or whatever direction it is to go that way. And there's no way of knowing which way is the right way the first time. And when you get it wrong, most of the time, it throws you to your death. It throws you like into a bed of spikes or something. Again, I abused the autosave or the quick save on 3DS for this, but my God, it was fucking awful. Worst by far one of the worst stages I've ever played in Sonic history. Boss fight was fine. You fought a little metal Sonic guy named Silver Sonic, who also appeared in Mania, so that was cute. And then Zone 7, you only get if you get all 6 Chaos Emeralds in the previous zones, which there is no bonus stages. You just kind of find them in the levels. Stage 7 is Crystal Egg Zone. I don't understand what the design was for this stage because it's all like shiny looking and then there's like flying fish and stuff in the background. I don't know what they're going for. Um, but it was honestly not that. It was kind of maze-like, but it wasn't that bad compared to the hell that was Scrambled Egg Zone. And there's a final boss fight with Robotnik, and it's the easiest goddamn Robotnik boss fight I've ever played. It's literally you're playing whack-a-mole, but you're the mole, and you just kind of you go in these tubes and you kind of pop out and hit them and pop back in, and it's really dumb. And then if you beat that stage, you save Tails, and god damn, this game sucks. This game's really bad. It's very poorly designed. And like I said, it came out a 1 month before the actual Sonic 2 on Genesis, which, is one of my favorite games of all time. So, yeah, I'm baffled by this game. And I think this is probably the first instance of a truly awful Sonic game. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Let's get us caught up on the.
Rest in peace.
Let's get us caught up on the chat here. Terry predicted or we all predicted apparently that you would talk about this game, and he called it Sonic
Did you?
2.
Yeah.
BioPhoenix says, I
I
did the
agree.
same thing with Turok 2. I would watch the game demo to see what came out after the first level, which took forever for me to beat. He's talking about you not even getting past the first level. Terry hopes that Tails and Sonic both died. Okay. Sonic 2 is atrocious. We know, Alex. We know that it's awful. You don't have to tell me how bad Sonic 2 is. There's a little rage. DZ, what's going on? Saying that they're high. BioPhoenix says we're getting a free map out of this game. Yeah, Alex just did every single level of Sonic 2.
Yeah, I've contemplated doing the Game Gear ones, and like Sonic 1 and Game Gear is good, and like Sonic, I think there's Sonic Chaos, Sonic Triple Trouble, and Tales of Adventure. Those are good, like Sonic platformers. I I would never want to map this game out. No.
Tylord's here.
You
What's
just
up,
did.
Tylord? Yeah, I know.
You don't have to anymore.
BioPhoenix says scrambled egg zone sounds excellent. So he's off the show. Tyler says I like
We both
Game Gear Sonic 1 better. Alex, what's better, Sonic 2 or Super Mario Bros. 2? Ooh, good question.
Ooh, Sonic 2 Mario Bros 2, because at least it fucking respects my time.
There we go. Some respect for Mario Bros. too.
I don't like it, but like at least it's a game I can play.
Yeah.
Terry, with the rare thing that I agree with, says this is the billionth time a Sonic game has been awful. I agree with that, Terry.
Oh, it's the first
But it's
one.
Alex's first. Yeah.
Well, when it's chronologically in '92. This, I mean, the only thing that was out was Sonic 1 and Sonic 1 Game Gear, and those are good. Like, so
Oh,
this
no,
is the
those are
first
bad.
time chronologically.
Those are bad
Shut up,
games.
Spencer. This is the first time. Shut up, Spencer. This is the first time chronologically there's just been a truly terrible Sonic release.
That's not what my Wikipedia says, but I guess we'll go with that.
Yeah, well,
even
we're not
Spinball,
using
which I don't like.
Wikipedia.
Was Spinball out at that point?
I don't. That's a good question. I don't know when Spinball came out. I knew it was early.
I wouldn't even put Spinball as that like awful. Like at least you can get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, Spinball's fine. But jeez, this game's rough. And like no wonder like as a kid, you just kind of accept games as they are, right? You're just kind of like, that's how the game is. And I just thought I was bad at the game, but playing through it now, the game is fucking bullshit. It's some of the worst Sonic designs I've ever seen. And my God, I don't know what all aspect went on to make for Sonic, but I hope they never had the chance to do this again.
Bio says Sonic
I have a
Blast on
question.
Game Gear. What does that mean?
Oh, Sonic Blast is bad too, but
It's a
that
game.
was later. That was later on. Yeah, Blast is bad, but Blast is like stupid though. So at least it's somewhat enjoyable. Like it's not like hard. It's just kind of dumb, So at least I can play it and like get a little chuckle out of it.
All right, Teddy's got a question.
I want to ask something. So, like, what? It's as much as this game sucks. What put you in the Sonic mood, or like just the mini? Like, what was the connection? I guess.
Well, I just did a video talking about 3DS stuff, and I was looking through my Game Gear games, and I realized that I had never beaten this one, and I was trying to think of what I could do for Mini Month. Yeah.
How do you check if you beat the game on the 3DS? You just knew, or?
I mean, I just knew I never finished that one before, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a try, and yeah, I regretted that. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Forgot the hell I was gonna say. Who knows?
Mood, the games you hadn't finished on 3DS.
Oh, I've played. I think I've played and beaten all the other Sonic games on Game Gear, and yeah, this one is by far the worst Game Gear game. Even compared to Sonic Blast or like Sonic Labyrinth, this is the worst. And like, there's I've heard from people that the Master System version is better because there's not screen crunch. But I doubt that fixes anything else. Like I doubt that wouldn't compensate for the level design or anything else with this game. That would just compensate for the fact that like some of the deaths may not feel as cheap whenever you can see a little bit more. So I doubt it, but if there's some Sonic 2 Master System defenders out there, sure. To have it. Enjoy it, I guess.
Come at us.
I'm I'm not gonna fucking fight you over Sonic 2 Game Gear. Shit.
Terry says, brings up an interesting point. He says, because when you're a kid, you don't value your time. About when you said as a kid, you just accept the games as they are, and realize that you don't want to. But as an adult, you do care about your time, and realize you don't want to be wasting your time playing bad games like Sonic. And then he said, he went from that to saying Alex likes bad games, so he picked a random bad game from his list of beloved bad games, and this one came up. Is that true?
You know, I don't agree with that sentiment. As I've gotten older, even this game, I don't regret playing it. I like playing some trash sometimes because it's interesting to to play it to understand game design. You know, so sometimes you just need a piece of shit. And this game was definitely one of them.
Yeah. So I take it this will not be one of the map outs. Because I am contractually obligated to play a Sonic game. I thought it was supposed to be Sonic Adventure. We haven't
gotten there.
Yeah.
I've let you off easy. We haven't gotten to Adventure. I'm trying to wait to pull Adventure out to when you least expect it, Spencer.
Oh.
When you just gotten comfortable, you know? When you just got the thought in your head that maybe we won't do it.
Yeah, I'm getting too comfortable lately, that's for sure.
I mean, listen, with Sonic Adventure, I like the game, but geez, playing 6 characters. I don't know. It's a lot. Like a 40-hour Sonic game, it's kind of...
Is it 40 hours?
Nah, it's not that one.
It's up there. It's high. To play through all 6 campaigns.
It's probably like 20, 25.
Let me look it up.
I had to guess.
Getting a little fact check now.
I had the idea before to do the Game Gear games, but in pairs. So like do Sonic 1 and 2, and then do like Sonic Chaos and Triple Trouble, like group them up. But God, I don't know if I want to do that now.
How long to beat says Sonic Adventure is 9 hours long.
I don't know though. Like, is that just the Sonic campaign? Is that all? I guess so. The Sonic campaign is pretty quick. Maybe 2 hours. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they're not long campaigns.
Does it tell you completion though? Because you know,
I mean, well,
you just want to see credits. You know, all you have to do is play Sonics. But
well, it says 9 hours for the main story. Main plus sides is 13.5 hours. Completionist is 25 hours. But that's always like,
hey, I was right with 25. I was just wrong with the wrong stat.
Yeah, so completionist means like you literally collect everything.
Yeah, which there's a lot of stuff as all 6 of the characters in the overworld. There's a lot of stuff to do, like a lot of side content, which is usually just like some NPCs like, hey, can you go and find me a rock? And you're like, all right.
Okay, I'll find you a rock.
Sure thing, big.
God damn it.
Bio says Sonic Labyrinth has no David Bowie, so it's a 1 out of 10. Tylord, I think Sonic 2 on Game Gear was produced 100 times more than any other game. I see it everywhere, and I accidentally have 2 copies. Oh shit!
I probably have a copy in my Game Gear stuff.
The part that takes the longest in Sonic
Ah.
Adventure is figuring out where to go and Big the Cat stage.
No, Big the Cat stages are short. Like, he doesn't have that many stages though. So, and they're all fishing. Fishing.
Sweet.
Yeah. Here I am again talking about Game Gear.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Game talk with a Game Gear.
I put him up. I was gonna grab a game. I was gonna grab a Game Gear, but I think I put him somewhere else.
Oh shucks.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.